Well, look at that. We are back, tribe. We are back with another video. Listen to me when I tell you today's video is going to be full of jewels. If you are a tribe member, I want to say thank you for coming back. If you are new to the channel, I'm going to ask that if in fact anything resonates with your soul, hit the subscribe button, become a part of our tribe. We are growing, and let me tell you, today's content, we are going to change the atmosphere, darling. We are going to change the atmosphere. Today we are talking to, listen to me when I tell you this, okay? If I could put a picture next to high value on what I believe high value would be as far as a man, it will be my little cousin, Quasan Lindsay, okay? Wall Street. He works on Wall Street right now, doing very well for himself. Just published a book. He's going to share his views with me today, and I'm super excited because let me tell you something. I've been saying it for as long as we've had this channel. There are still good men. Plenty of them. And I'm going to bring them by my channel so I can prove what I've been saying to be right. We are going to talk to him about his new book that he has out. We're going to talk to him about love and what he believes, what he knows about women, all right? And then we'll invite him back to the channel with a few other high-value men. Let's go ahead and get into this interview. Get your popcorn. You're going to need it. What makes a woman beautiful?
What makes a woman beautiful? I love topics like this. That's a great question. From my perspective, I believe what makes a woman beautiful is a woman that is able to walk proudly in her essence. I would say that is something that drives me towards a woman, not the superficial things, everyone, has that, right? Physical features and things of that nature. I think what makes a woman beautiful is a woman walking in her essence and a woman who is self-aware, not only of herself, but of her surroundings and the power that she brings when she walks into a room. A woman that exudes confidence, a woman that is intelligent, a woman that uplifts other women and also her peers, but also don't look down on men based on her past experiences or generalize men and say, all men are, XYZ because of their past experiences. I believe someone or a woman that is able to set aside and really understand that, everything she's been through makes her the strong woman that she is. I believe that's what makes a woman beautiful.
So you said her essence, you said her confidence, the way she walks into the room, the way she treats others. You didn't say anything about her beauty, did you? Did I miss that?
I didn't mention anything about
no, I'm glad you
like physical features.
Yeah. So is there a reason why?
I would say personally, don't get me wrong, when I was younger, I did dwell on those things, right? You want the girl that got the nice body or, the big behind and stuff like that, but that was the young me, that was a young mentality. As I continue to get older and to read and to educate myself, to tap more into spirituality, I started to understand myself more, but also understand women more. Actually, one of my favorite books is The Way of the Superior Man, The Way of the Superior Man, and it talks about polarity between men and women. It talks about masculine and feminine energy. So as I began to really educate myself to really try to understand women, because no man can truly understand a woman, but a man can make an effort to understand them more, although he cannot completely understand them. So as I began to do that, I really started to appreciate women wholeheartedly. And to really embrace all the facets that they bring, their energy, I believe a woman's energy can move a man on a whole different level. I believe a man can be extremely successful on his own, but he can only get so far. I believe a woman has a certain sort of energy that moves a man on a whole different level. And I tell my homeboys that all the time. Get you a good woman, because yeah, you could be successful by yourself, but a woman is gonna move you on a whole different level.
Can I ask that question? What makes a good
Yeah.
woman? What makes a good woman? When you say get a good woman, what makes that?
Um. Yeah. No. That's a good question. We can segue into. I believe what makes a good woman is, again, it goes back to self awareness. It goes back to confidence and knowing the power that she brings. I believe a good woman is loving, she's caring, she's supportive, and knows how to uplift her partner. She's family oriented. She knows when to let her partner lead, but she also knows when to take control. Um, I believe a good woman is just, like, again, it goes back to that essence, just walking into her energy and knowing who she is and being able to pour into others, and yeah, I would say, yeah, that's a good woman to me.
I love that because, see, on our channel here, I really try to teach women, and even in my books, is that there is something deeper when we are looking at femininity. And it is not just what you put on the exterior body. It's not the expensive perfume that you put on, or the Louboutins that you put on your feet, or the Birkin bag that you're carrying. Those things are all nice. But
Yep.
from my perspective, there's something deeper that a woman must have in order for her to be able to relate to masculine energy. And it's the intangible things. It's not the stuff you can buy at the store, but the intangible things. And I think both you and I are on the same page. The essence, what she's walking into, and, being caring, those things are intangible things, don't you think?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I agree.
Hmm.
And that's what it's about. Like you said, the intangibles are what truly matters. You can just feel it, right? It's an unexplainable feeling. There's been times when I've been in a room and a woman just walks in and you can just feel the energy. Like she's just walking with this light and it just kind of,
Yes.
you kind of, you kind
I
of,
love it.
you,
You,
you kind of feed off that energy. As a masculine man, you're naturally drawn towards that. You're like, wow, like, she
I
didn't even open, she
love
didn't
that.
even, she didn't even open her mouth yet. It's like, wow, So I
Listen,
think a woman. Yeah, I'm sorry.
I
Go ahead.
no no no. I'm getting so excited. I gotta calm myself down because in my book I call that Asana energy, and what Asana energy is, for all of my readers who are on my channel, they know that Asana energy is what I call the highest version of feminine energy. It's the highest version of femininity. It is the part of feminine energy that can change the atmosphere. So a woman who walks in a room, she's not walking in with an arrogance or an air about her, but she's walking in with her own true essence. And that enough is enough to change the room.
Yep,
You need to
absolutely.
feel her more than she doesn't have to say anything, but you can feel her. That just
Absolutely.
got me fired up. Uh, so the next question I
Yeah.
have for you is, what do you think about today's modern relationships, the way both men and women relate to one another? What do you think about that?
I love I love this question so much. um, I love this question and just discussing these things, because this is how we're going to learn and continue to grow, right? As men and women, and to really partner with each other and really learn each other and understand each other much better. So, in regard to modern day relationships between men and women, that's a great question. If I'm being honest, from just my experiences and what I see, on social media and everything, I feel like relationships between men and women has become, trying to find the right words. I feel like men and women try to one up each other now in relationships.
Okay.
That's one thing I tend to notice at the start of the relationship, right? because the dynamic has changed. Now women are in a position where they are the breadwinners, right? It ain't like the old times where the man was the breadwinner and a woman was simply at home caretaking for the family. Now there are a lot of powerful women, extremely successful women, who are at the top of their careers, and they don't need a man to provide for them financially. So I feel like the dynamic has changed in a sense that women feel like they do not need men, and men feel like they do not need women. You know, when the truth of the matter is, we actually need each other.
Yes, somebody said it. All right.
Yeah,
Okay.
we actually need each other. And right now, I just feel like it's so ego driven, right? So everyone's ego is so fragile because they haven't taken the time to put the work in on themselves, so the egos in play. Now you feeling offended. Now you feel like you have to hurt somebody else to kind of get even with them. And then it's just like this back and forth. So I'll say, yeah, based on my experiences and just being observant of what I see based on relationships, I feel like it's very ego driven. And yeah, but the truth is, we need each other.
I love
We men,
that.
yeah,
I
yeah.
love that. I have been saying that as an old woman on my channel now for 2 years, being a renegade out here in these YouTube streets. Um, that's to say that we need each other is actually it is renegade behavior because so many people are the polarities. Men are on one side, women are on the other. It's like a bad party where nobody's dancing, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Nobody's dancing because the ego is in the way. But if we understood that, yes, women, we need men. And men, yes, you do need women. We need each other. And these are the messages I wish we could get out on a larger scale. But it takes the brave souls to to have these conversations and to get them out there, and perhaps they can reach the right people. I think the interview today was fantastic. I do have a couple of more questions that I want to ask you that are not relationship driven, but if you have something you would like to talk about before we get into those questions, this will be the perfect time to get it out. You got anything on your mind that you want to talk about?
Yeah, I just want to say I think you're doing a great job, right? You said it's going to take some brave souls to sort of shift the dynamic and get back to us understanding the essence of men and women and understand that we need each other. I just want to say you're doing a great job and you're shedding light on that community and those brave souls, and you are a brave soul that's making a difference in that space. So yeah, just continue to do what you're doing and inspiring people in regard to um, men and women and just spirituality and just really understanding the whole law of polarity of masculine and feminine energy. So yeah, I just wanted to let you know and give you those flowers in
Don't make me
regard to
cry. I'm a water bag. I'm a water bag.
that.
Well, listen, my viewers may not know this, but not only are you a businessman, because I do believe you are a professional. Is that right?
Yes, correct.
Okay, and so you are professional, but outside of your professional life, not to put all your business out there, but you are also an author.
Yep.
And you just wrote a book that I believe will be beneficial not just to my readers, but people from our community where we're from. Because where we're from is, you know, the streets kind of runs things, and it's very difficult for people where we're from to make it out. And for those of us who do make it out, it's important for us to not only just to shed light on where we come from, but to also realize that we were able to make it from where we come from. How were you able to pivot from uh, you know gang violence and drugs and just the poverty into which you and I come from? How were you able to pivot from that um, and get to where you are and accomplish the things that you are accomplishing, especially being able to write a book? Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, so it all started, as a kid, just being observant. And that came from me being able to get outside of my community and to really see what was out there inside the world. Growing up in the inner city, not a lot of people get the opportunity to see what's outside of that. They only know their current circumstances, and that tends to keep them confined. So, fortunately, I was able to get outside of that and to see, big homes, mansions, and to travel and to, see this place and that place, and to really, that kind of sparked my interest. And I said, you know what, it is much more outside of my community. And that's what kind of shifted my mindset. And I just made a decision to myself that, you know what, I'm not going to let my circumstances confine me. I'm going to do whatever it takes to get out of my community and to educate myself. But, I went through my fair share of failures and hardships the same way as anyone else does. I just didn't give up on myself. I didn't count myself out. And I think that is something we all need to sort of do, but also give ourselves some grace, and understand that we're doing the best that we can do. Because oftentimes we try to put on the hard shell or put on a mask and like, okay, I'm fine. My feelings aren't hurt, or I just got to keep chugging along. Where deep down you're hurting, So you have to learn to take a step back and kind of really give yourself some grace during that process, and that's something I did for myself, on that journey. But yeah, in regard to just writing a book, I noticed in my community that growing up, I didn't have anyone to teach me about financial literacy or anything like that. We didn't have the resources, and a lot of inner cities and public schools, they lack the resources. So I said, you know what? I didn't have anyone to teach me, right? I said, I'm going to put in the hard work. I'm going to go through the pain, and I'm going to take the stairs so that I can build an elevator for the youth behind me. And now I look at this book that I created, Be in Control.
It's going to be a number one bestseller. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Yep.
Yeah, no worries. But yeah, I look at Be in Control. This book is one of those elevators to educate youth and to even just educate anyone who's interested in financial literacy and understanding financial markets and investing, who may not currently work in that space. So, it's definitely much bigger than me. My goal is to educate and uplift the community, especially in inner cities, to educate Black and brown kids in regard to financial literacy, because it does make a huge difference. But yeah, I would say the main thing was definitely getting outside of my community, and that sort of opened up my mind to really understand that it's so much more out here in this world.
I think for me, we share something in common. For me, I always wanted to know what's up there. Because when I'm, of course, a lot older than you are, but I remember we were living in the projects, okay? And in my mind, I kept hearing of this place called Maplewood. And for a lot of people, Maplewood is down the street. But for a young girl, it seemed like it was another world away. And I remember thinking, I want to go to Maplewood. And I remember asking my dad, is there any way he can take me to Maplewood? Which it literally was about maybe 11, 12 minutes away.
Yeah.
But that curiosity of wanting to know what's up there, I didn't know that when I was younger, but that curiosity is why I've been able to expand myself, because I've seen a lot. I've been able to see outside of my 4-block radius. Do you think that's what helped you, being curious what's out there and not being afraid to take those chances to see what's out there?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. You actually hit it on the head. Curiosity.
Yeah.
That's a very powerful word, and I agree 100%. I agree that curiosity is what allowed me to overcome my current circumstances. At the time when I was in a project, just remaining curious and, like you said, not being afraid to take the road less traveled. Right? Yeah. Everybody's going one way. They conform to the norms, but you say, okay, I'm curious to where this road lead.
Yeah.
I'm the only one right here, but I gotta pave the way,
Yep.
and hopefully others follow me and they're brave enough to come this way, So yeah, curiosity definitely did that, and yeah, we definitely have that in common.
I agree. I agree. So the new book, for those who are listening, is called "Be in Control." Am I right? Be in Control.
Yes.
That book is available on Amazon. Can you tell us where they can find your new book, Be in Control, where they can find it? And if you are open for speaking engagements and arrangements, tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, so my new book is called Be in Control, A Beginner's Guide to Stocks, Investing, and Financial Literacy. Yes, it can be found on Amazon in ebook and paperback form. If you want to find it, you can just go to Amazon.com and type in Be in Control by Quasan Lindsay. That is QUASANLINDSAY. And yep, it'll come right up and you'll be able to get you some copies. And in regard to speaking engagements, yeah, I'm open to speaking. I'm located in North Jersey. I currently work in New York City, and on the side, I do a lot of motivational speaking to educational institutions, whether it be elementary schools, high schools, or colleges and universities. So, yeah, I'm definitely open to speaking engagements.
Got it. This book, Be in Control, is available on Amazon.com. The link will be in the description. Go ahead, purchase that book today. And cousin, I would like to thank you for being on our channel. And I'm sure you'll be back here again soon. Is there anything that you would like to say to those who are listening, whether it be about how men and women are relating to one another, whether it be about finance? Is there any parting words that you would like to leave?
Yes, absolutely. Once again, I just want to say, I want to congratulate you on your channel, which is geared towards women and spirituality. I love that, and I love discussing the dynamic between men and women in relationships. One thing I would say, which it's toward men, but it would allow men to really love their their woman. Um, is get in therapy. Black men, please get in therapy. Therapy has been huge for me. It has allowed me to tackle certain traumas and allow me to put my pride and ego aside to be able to open up myself to the possibilities of true love with the woman who I desire. I think that's very important. Our black men and just men in general, we need to really tackle those traumas so that we can be able to love our women wholeheartedly.
Oh my goodness! Listen, I want to. I have more questions. You just opened up a whole thing. I know we gotta go, but
no,
you
it's
just.
okay.
Can I just say that you said something that really hit me, which was get therapy for the traumas. Um, do you think that a lot of and this is the last question, I know we got to go, but I want to put this out there. Do you think
Yes.
that a lot of today's traumas or the disconnect between what they call modern day women and modern day men, perhaps that disconnection is happening and we're not being able to relate to one another because perhaps there is a lot of trauma, unhealed trauma that both men and women might be going through. Do you think that could be part of the problem of why men and women are having trouble connecting? Is that maybe they're not getting therapy for those traumas? What do you think about that?
No, I think that's 100% accurate. Honestly, I believe it's the trauma, right? I don't want to call it baggage because it's something that can be addressed. Um, but yeah, I think trauma is the word, right? We carry around this energy, these traumas, and they say if you have to express yourself and let certain things out, and that's one thing that therapy allows you to do. You're in a judgment-free zone, right? You're seeking professional help, and you're able to have those conversations to kind of take that burden off of you. So I think that is the bulk of the problems we're having today is because men and women aren't getting the help, the proper help that they need, which is therapy. It took me a while to even get into therapy because the stigma around it is like, oh, you're a black man, you grew up in the projects, you can't show your emotions as weak, so I had to kind of rewire my brain and how I was thinking and my thought process. So it took me a minute to get in therapy because of that stigma around it, but it's been helping me tremendously on a whole different level. I'm much more patient. I'm more patient. I'm more calm. My ego is put to the side. I don't have a problem expressing my feelings to a woman, even if she possibly is going to reject me. I don't even think about that. I just put the energy out into the universe, and I don't worry about, I just let God do his thing. And I think that's what we need to get to. We're kind of ego driven, so we kind of fear like, oh, if I say this to this person may not be attracted to me, or they may diss me or play me out. That's the ego talking right there. So I think we got to put that ego aside for sure.
Oh my goodness, cousin, you have to come back. You
No,
have to come back to the channel.
I told you, I love talking about this stuff.
I'm telling you, I have so many questions, but I know we're done on this session. I am going to say thank you so much for joining us on this channel. You are welcome back anytime, especially when we are talking about male and female relationships and how we are relating to one another. I want you to know this. I'm sure there's a woman listening to this right now, and she's given hope. I'm sure there's a man listening to this right now, and he's inspired. Because like I said, where we come from, to do what you've done with your career, to be able to graduate with a 3.70 GPA, to be able to do all those things and to write your book, to be an author at your young age. I'm super proud of you. Super proud of you.
I appreciate you. It wasn't easy, but it's all paying off. And I hope the men can take something from this, and I hope this can, give a woman hope that there's good men out there, and men, there are good women out there. I don't think we should generalize anything because good men and women do exist.
I love it, and we're going to end it on that note.